Yeah, we got to put the GM cap on. I like to go shock and awe on some of my moves I'm going to make. Okay?
Okay.
So I wanted to focus, as we head into the All-Star break, I wanted to focus on two absolute beasts for both St. Louis and Milwaukee that'll both be at the Midsummer Classic and deserve to be recognized again. And then I wanted to throw, like, what I see is going to be the difference maker as we head towards the trade deadline and where their fatal flaw could fall. All right, so as I watched,
it was a long night for you,
it was. As I watched
okay.
both these games last night, the NL Central, I wanted to take stock. The Dodgers have been playing great baseball. Go into St. Louis. St. Louis gets a big-time W. Milwaukee on the flip side, tough matchup. Minnesota, they go in there, bunch of rain delays, still figure out a way to dominate. So who's going to take this NL Central? But before we get there, okay, with St. Louis, I kind of like to throw to a from the mind open and take you behind the scenes with Paul Goldschmidt.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there last night, and I just want everyone to realize how good of a first half Paul Goldschmidt has had, okay? I know he's struggling. He's 1 for his last 13, but he's sitting on 299 homers, and we'll pick up the stats in a second. Listen to Arenado talk about him.
To be honest with you, man, Paul Goldschmidt is one of the best players I've ever seen. I mean, I said that when I first got called up in Colorado, seeing him in Arizona. He's unbelievable. The way he goes about his business, humble, unbelievable teammate, great father. Just everything he does is right, you know what I mean? And we always give him a hard time, but he takes it well. But he's the man. This guy's an unbelievable player. I've never played with a smarter baseball player than Paul Goldschmidt. You know, I played with some good ones with DJ and Charlie Blackmon, Tulo, but Goldie's up there with the best, like, smartest players I've ever seen, and obviously one of the best.
Can I pause it real quick right there? Okay, so you're talking about a guy who had a first half of hitting .333 as of tonight, 19 bombs, 65 RBIs, a 186 weighted runs created plus, and a 4.7 WAR. 6 times this guy has hit 30-plus bombs in his career. 6 times he's driven in north of 90-plus runs, and 3 times he's gone over the century mark. Throw in Gold Glove defense and one of the best players in the game saying not only are you a great player, you're the smartest player I've ever been around, and you're obviously a great father. Throw that all in and you get Paul Goldschmidt. So as we head to LA, I wanted to give him love for an unbelievable first half. Are you trying to jump in?
I just talked to Paul Goldschmidt one time, and I said, your teammates say you're perfect. And he looked at me and said, my wife would say otherwise.
He walked by me at 30-30. I just wanted to say hi. And he almost doesn't want to make eye contact because he doesn't want ick. Like, I'm moving on. I got things to do. I got to get to Stop and Shop and get some groceries. Okay, something else out of the first half. Nolan Gorman. Okay, last night goes deep. Pause it again for me real quick. I will not get lengthy. I just want to give some love here. 8 homers. For him to come up, learn second base, he looks like he's going to be a star for a while. But as I look at the second half, St. Louis Cardinals, run it. There's your rotation with Jack Flaherty down. You got Waino. Miles Michaelis has been a beast for this team early in the season. You're going to get Steven Matz back, Dakota Hudson, and throw in a Matthew Liberatore on the back end of an opener game last night with Jordan Hicks. But if they're going to be shock and awe in the second half and make a deep run through October, I think they need a starting rotation piece, right? And for me, I get it. The Luis Castillos of the world would be great. It's in the same division as you. Shane Bieber. I don't know if the Guardians would punt him. I don't know if they're going to pay him. They did with Jose Ramirez. Pause this real quick. But that would be a move to bring him in, and then next year you'd have him with Flaherty and get really hairy for St. Louis. I'm thinking crazy outside the box here. Okay, let's get back into the tape.
Now you're inside the box.
Yeah, I'm inside the box right here. But Corbin Burns, can we lock in on the fact, pause this, I'm sorry, Pablo, but I got to catch up with myself here. Corbin Burns is having just as good a half as he did last year, and all we did was talk about how great he was, and it led to the NL Cy Young Award. This year, it's been Sandy Alcantara, it's been Tony Gonsolin, amongst others, and we've kind of forgotten the fact that Corbin Burns is having as good, if not better, season than he did during his Cy Young, especially in the first half. So you brought this to my attention with Brian Anderson, their great play-by-play guy, saying in 2018, he scuffled a little bit, falling off to the first base side. Can you rewind that and run that again, or is that not possible? Watching 2018 on the left-hand side, his head and everything jerking towards the first base dugout, and now how streamlined he is in 2022, getting in the pitching lab in Milwaukee, Lauren, you talked about it, and everything coming together, adding in the cutter, and he has been flat out nasty from jump again, okay? So when I look at Milwaukee, you have the Woodruffs who have come and gone with the IL, Freddie Peralta, but Corbin Burns has been the constant. But you look at their offense, especially last night. How are they going to score consistent runs? I love Willie Adames. Pause this. He's got 18 bombs heading into the break. This is their lineup last night. It reminds me of 2010 with the San Francisco Giants, sitting on the bench, watching these guys struggle to score 3 runs, putting huge pressure on themselves to bail out a pitching staff that was throwing stressful inning after stressful inning. So I say, if you're going to jump it, who would be somebody that could come in and really change this entire lineup and just assimilate himself in there, into that clubhouse? He'd be perfect. He'd hit perfect in that Miller Park, run it. I know it's pie in the sky, people, but if you've locked in on the White Sox, if you locked in, they're flat.
D-Row.
It doesn't look right.
D-Row.
Things could potentially happen. He's a free agent at the end of the year. You could put Tellez in the DH spot. Give me Jose Abreu, kind of like that CC Sabathia came for them in 2007 to
They're
save their
5 games
pitch.
back in the division.
I know. I'm thinking outside the box. Do you want me to say Andrew Benintendi?
Everyone's interested. The Yankees are interested.
I think it's an interesting division, right?
Well, 49 wins is the most.
Well, how are you going to
Brewers.
go deep into the postseason? The Braves, Mets, and Dodgers are bears. Bears. And I feel like sometimes we look at the division leaders in the National League and we talk and we go, oh, and Milwaukee. Because we don't truly believe they can run the table.
Well, we said in the beginning of the year, if Christian Yelich is healthy, that's enough with that stuff. You're saying it's not.
But Christian Yelich is not NL MVP Christian Yelich, and it's been multiple years.
Yeah.
Cardinals have to deal with
Willie
Tony
Adames is
Gonsolin
great,
tonight.
but
Milwaukee has a 2-game lead
Rowdy Tellez
right
is
now.
great. I'm just
Making
trying to
some moves
Need to amplify.
for the trade deadline.